What's up, everybody? Happy Wednesday. Hope all you're having a great day so far. So I pretty much just put this in my community section on YouTube, so I'm gonna repeat it here. I heard a rumor that Carly is pregnant. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not, but so far the signs that I'm seeing suggest that it might be true. First of all, I read a spoiler on Soap Central that said Sonny and Carly are going to discuss their future. Why else would they be talking about their future? Their marriage is not on the rocks. They're in a good place. So, what about their future would they need to talk about if it doesn't concern a baby? What else would they need to talk about regarding their future? Also, on tomorrow's episode, I seen the promo at the end of this episode where Sonny was in bed with Carly and he said, I like surprises. And Carly had this look on her face and she said, that's good to know. Why else? What surprise does she have for him if it ain't a baby? I'm just saying, some things make start to make me think she's with child. And I know what a lot of y'all gonna say. Carly and Sonny do not need no more kids. I agree, they don't. They're at a point in their life where they should stop having kids. But Carly is still young enough to get pregnant, though. I mean, she is mid to late 40s, so she's still young enough to have one. But I mean, who wants a baby when you're damn near 50? I'm just saying, especially when you already have children. Why would you want, you're pushing 50. Why would you want another child? Especially when most of your kids are adults. It's like you really want to start all over in your 50s, waking up in the middle of the night, feeding a child and diapers and elementary school and all that nonsense. I mean, they're already doing that with Avery. So it's like, do you really want to start all over again? I'm just saying, like, that's going to be a no for me. I'm just like, if I'm 50, ain't no way I'm trying to be somebody's daddy at 50 years old. That's just a hell to the no. Nah, I ain't going through all that school and principals and no, hell no. Monsters in the closet and all that. Not no. Not at 50. I'm not. Hell to the no. Nope. You ain't about to get me doing that. But I I don't know. Like I said, it's a rumor, but it's like when I heard it, I'm like, and then I'm seeing the promo and the spoilers. I'm like, could it be? Because the promo and the spoilers lead me to think that she's knocked up. I'm just saying, it leads me to think that. But at first I'm thinking, nah, it must be Liz. But I'm like, Liz hasn't been showing any symptoms of pregnancy. I mean, Carly hasn't really shown any signs of pregnancy either, though. Throwing up. When she was pregnant with Jocelyn, you saw the signs. She was passing out. She was queasy. Like, you saw the signs of it. This, you haven't seen any indication. But, I digress. So anyway, getting into this episode, Chase and Michael, I like their little bromance, the little friendship that they've developed. Um, so Michael got a Valentine's Day card from Nell. She was basically taunting him, talking about Happy Valentine's Day, something I think she said for me and Jonah, something about Jonah. She was basically taunting Michael. Like, she gets a kick out of taunting him. And Michael was not with the shits. He was like, you know what? I'm just gonna throw this card in the trash. Um, what irritated me a little bit about Chase was I understand that he's happy about the prospect of him and Willow being a couple and stuff like that, but he was comparing her to Nell a little bit too much. Let me tell you something. When you start a new relationship with somebody, you do not compare your current girlfriend to your ex-girlfriend. You don't do that. That's a bad way to start any relationship. You just don't want to do that. Like, that's like the worst thing you can do is compare the current to the ex. You don't want to do that. Um I for me, I don't know. I just still don't see Chase and Willow lasting. I honestly don't. You could definitely I get a sense that Michael likes her. Like, I definitely get a feel that he likes her more than just a friend. Like, that's just the vibe I'm getting every time he's around her. Even when Chase talks about her, Michael just has this look on his face and he's mad silent. I think he's digging Willow, like, cause they connect on an emotional level because of their children. She had to give her child up for adoption. His supposedly died, so that's how they're connecting. They have that emotional connection. So he's definitely attracted to her and he's feeling her. Like you can see it on Michael's face. So it's definitely gonna lead to something. One of them gonna have to make up their mind, like who they gonna be with and what they gonna do. Cause I don't see Chase and Willow lasting. Honestly, I can't say that I do. Honestly, I knew it was a matter of time before Willow was gonna want to have some type of relationship with her son. And she basically admitted that to Brad. She was like, she does want to get to know Wiley and be in Wiley's life, and even though she know that that's not possible at this point, but she know that he's gonna grow up one day and want to meet her and get to know her. Like most adopted kids, of course, when they find out that they're adopted, of course, when they get older, they want to know where they come from, who their biological parent is. It's just sad that knowing what we know as fans, that's never going to happen for her because unbeknownst to her, her actual son is deceased. I think when she finds that out, it's going to break her. Like, it is going to break her. You see how emotional she is. What is this? I hate when stuff pop up on me. But you see how emotional she is over the fact that she had to give her son up for adoption and he's living in the same town as her. She basically is going to run into him sometime. And you see how emotional she is. Imagine her reaction and how upset and emotional she's going to be when she finds out her actual child is deceased. Imagine how she's going to feel when that happens, when she finds that out. Hopefully sooner rather than later, because the storyline has been going on for too long for my taste. Um, and like I said, I hate baby swap storylines because they annoy me. It's such an old soap cliche. It's not all that interesting nowadays. It's like you've seen one baby swap, you've seen them all. And God knows I've seen more than my fair share of baby swaps on these shows to last me 2 lifetimes. Like seriously. But yeah, it's gonna be a hot mess when she find out the truth. And Brad is just sitting there squirming. He don't know with like these facial expressions. Even every time Michael comes up to see Wiley and stuff and hold Wiley, you can see how uncomfortable Brad is. You can really see it. And I love to watch him squirm. I love it. But I love it even more when the truth is revealed. He was so nervous when Michael brought up Nell. When Michael mentioned Nell, the nervousness on this guy, he was afraid of what that Valentine's Day card she gave Michael said. She was afraid of what he was afraid of what Nell might have told Michael. I mean, bruh, if Nell told him anything significant about their child, don't you think Michael, the first thing he would have done when he seen you was pick the kid up, put him in a stroller, and knock you on your ass? The mere fact that he was smiling in your face and mentioned his godson, obviously he doesn't know the truth yet. So I don't know why you're so scared. If he knew the truth, like I said, he would have picked the kid up out your arms, put him in the stroller, and beat the living hell out of you. He didn't do either of those things, so therefore he still doesn't know. So I don't know why he was so nervous. Like it's that guilt. A part of him is guilty about it. He's feeling guilty as hell, but he knows he's in too deep now. And I'm gonna tell you right now, when you tell a lie as big as the lie Brad's telling right now, at this point, as you get deeper and deeper, the more you keep lying every day, the more deeper you're getting into this. So once you tell a lie this big, you just got to go all the way with it. There is no telling the truth now at this point. And I've been saying it for months, Brad should come clean, but it's too late now. This has been going on for months. It's way too late for him to come clean now because you risk not only losing the child, you risk losing your job, you risk losing your husband, and you risk losing your freedom because you'll be facing criminal charges. So you basically will lose everything. Everything that you've known, you will lose. So at this point, he feels that he got to keep the secret going. I agree. You do have to keep it going. I don't want to see it because I'm ready for it to end, but I can understand his motivation for not telling the truth at this point. It's been you waited too long to confess now. You just got to go all the way with the lie. You know what I'm saying? Till the wheels fall off that bitch. Like, that's just all you got to do. You got to keep lying until the wheels fall off. You have no other alternative. You have to just keep going. Which sucks for him when the truth does come out, because surely somebody's going to beat the hell out of him. Whether that be Lucas, whether that be Michael, one of them is going to kick the shit out of him. Or maybe both of them will just stomp the hell out of him. old fashioned beatdown. That's what he needs. Um, so anyway, moving on from that, Finn and the Scooby Gang, Robert and Anna, um, they meet up with Dr. Cabot, and apparently Dr. Cabot is blind, so he has the same blindness that Anna had, Ryan has, Kevin has. He has the same blindness. So basically, they use that to their advantage because he's seen other doctors, and they all basically told him there's no restoring his sight, which is bogus because Finn actually has a surgery clearly that can restore his sight. So Robert and Anna and Finn are using that to their advantage. Basically, they want to know all about his uh, protocols, what he's been doing, how all of this got started. Basically, they just want to know everything that he's been doing with patients and this virus and this poisoning, how it happened, why it started, who funded it. They want to know everything, how it, pertinent information. And the only way they're willing to, they want that information in exchange for his sight. But Anna, of course, Robert didn't want Anna to be there because they didn't know that he was blind, so they didn't want him recognizing her because obviously he did business with Alex. So if he saw Anna, it would basically fuck everything up. So he's blind, but Anna just had to break the code, and she had to go off. So of course he recognized her voice. I love when all three of them are solving a case. My only thing is, it makes sense that this is why I love the writing for this particular storyline, because it makes sense for Finn to be involved because it involves medical issues. So of course you're going to need a specialized doctor to come on this with you. You know what I'm saying? If it was just Anna and Robert, they probably would get absolutely nowhere because they're not in the medical field. They would just basically threaten a bunch of legal mess, and that's all well and good. But when you have a doctor, as skilled as Finn, you're going to need him. So I like that they wrote a storyline that caters to the legal side of things, which is for Anna and Robert, but also the medical side of things for Finn. So that way all of them can be included. I think that was brilliant. But at this point, I do kind of feel like they might as well make Finn an honorary cop or something, because he does help out with a lot of these investigations. So you might as well just kind of, let him be a doctor plus a cop. Kind of makes sense too. But I'm intrigued, like, what is all of this blindness, this twin thing? Like, who's the mastermind behind all of this? Because you got to have a boss. So who's the big boss behind all of this? Because I have a feeling there's way more to the story. Like, what about patients? What was Jason, patient 6 or whatever? What about the other patients? You know what I'm saying? Because they did make reference that there were other patients beyond Jason. So who are these other patients? Like, are all of these things connected? I feel like this is one big ass game of Clue. And I feel like it's one big ass umbrella story. That, so to speak. I think this is gonna be huge. This is a powder keg waiting to explode. Because I believe there's a bigger mission than just some random doctor who decided to, do some type of study on twins or something. There's got to be a bigger picture to this. And my thing is, who's behind all this? A Cassadine, Shiloh. Who's behind it? Maybe Peter knows more than what he's saying. Somebody got to know something. And I'm curious to find out, what does all of this have to do with these twins? Like, who's behind this? Cassandra maybe, but I doubt it. I mean, there's a link somewhere that we're just missing. You know what I mean? So anyway, Alexis and Christina was sitting there waiting for Sam. Christina keeps trying to get Alexis to come back to the damn group therapy meeting sessions that they be having at dawn of day. Alexis was like, no, I'm good. She keep pushing. Oh, come back. It can help. Please, Alexis know a coat when she see a coat. Christina need to stop trying to recruit people for this damn coat. Like, okay, we get it. You drunk the Kool-Aid, but you don't need to pass the Kool-Aid around to everybody else. Chillax. So Sam come up or whatever and basically tell them that her and Jason broke up. And she explained why they broke up. Like, because Jason will never change and her life is going in a different direction. They want different things. All the while she's sitting there telling this story, Alexis is looking at her with this face like, this is all bullshit. I already know. Like she could just sense the bullshit when she looking at Sam and she's listening to this story of why they broke up. And she's like, she just got that face like, I know you're full of shit. You know I know. Like you're lying. Like that's why I love Alexis. I love her because it's very seldom that you can put anything past her. Like that's why she's a brilliant attorney because it pays to be Alexis because she knows how to read people. And this is something Christina needs to learn. How are you related to people like Sonny, Alexis, and Sam, who for the most part know how to read people very well, and you can't read people at all? Not one iota? That's sad. You know what I'm saying? Like to me that says that you've been sheltered. I'm not going to say she's stupid, but she's naive and she's been sheltered too much and I blame Alexis for that. She's babied her too much. You pretty much isolated her from the real world for too long. And she doesn't know any, street skills and she might be a little book smart, but she's not street smart. She doesn't know how to read people and she need to learn how to do that. It's never too late to learn. Learning is a beautiful thing. But Alexis definitely knew that whole breakup was bullshit. She didn't know why they broke up, and she didn't know the real reason of what Sam is up to, especially with this dawn of day nonsense. But she know that the story was BS. She know it. It was written all over her face. The only fool that was sitting there believing it was Christina, of course. I was sitting there looking at Christina like, you really believe that nonsense? Her mother just sitting there like, y'all believe this? And what irritated me a little bit was they were sitting there asking Alexis about her therapist, like her new therapist's name. I'm like, why is that any of your business? Who her therapist's name is? The mere fact is she's seeing a therapist. That's all you need to know. You don't need to know his name. You don't need to know nothing about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, who asked that question? I had a friend one time, or somebody I know, tell me that they were going to therapy. Never once did I ask, what's the therapist's name? Why would I want to know that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't need to know that information. I mean, if you're going to therapy for whatever reason, good for you. I don't need to know the details. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, like, it's not my business. You know what I'm saying? Nobody asked for that information. Like, why would you need to know a name? For what purpose? So, anyway, moving on from that. Jason and Shiloh are playing one hell of a game of cat and mouse. Oh, they're playing that cat and mouse game. I can see it. It's all over their face. Their face is speaking volumes. You know what I'm saying? Like their facial expressions. And they're playing a good game. But Jason, I mean, let me tell you something. And I've said this to people in the comments too. Jason has been up against far worse people than Shiloh. Far worse. But he's dealing with something that he's never really had to deal with before. That's the difference. See, dealing with other mobsters, other mob bosses and stuff, that shit, it comes natural to Jason. He knows how to handle that because that's his world. But you're dealing with a world that you've never dealt with before. So you have to move differently. You know what I'm saying? So to some people, it might seem like Shiloh has the upper hand on him. But Shiloh is going to make a mistake because I can see it in his face. He has this arrogance about him. And every time I notice a new villain has an arrogance about them, that's usually their downfall. Because once you have that cockiness and that arrogance about you, you're going to lower your guard at some point. You know what I'm saying? You will, because you're too arrogant and cocky not to. And you're gonna eventually slip up and underestimate. And that's exactly what Shiloh's gonna do. He's gonna underestimate Jason. That's one thing you don't want to do, because that's when Jason's at his most deadly. And the one thing Jason does not want to do either is underestimate Shiloh, because I mean, as you can see, Shiloh is pretty slick and slippery. We see that. You know what I'm saying? He's a slick dude. Very slick talking. And the mere fact that he was definitely trying to get into Jason's head today. When he was like, oh, it's your barriers and stuff that's keeping Sam, you and Sam at odds or whatever. See, when he mentioned that and the way Jason looked at him when he mentioned that, he was like, yeah, it all comes back to Sam, doesn't it? I said, you got it right. You on the right track, brother. Because this guy, I'm telling you, he's playing a very dangerous game. Somebody's going to get hurt. Somebody's going to get hurt, or somebody's going to be in a 6 feet deep pine box hole at the end of the day. I'm telling you. But anyway, I actually thoroughly enjoyed this episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what y'all thought about this episode. I will see you all later. Have a great day. Tell me what you think about Carly and Sonny possibly having a new child. See you later.